Why is she ignoring you now? After everything you did, after the time, the effort, the emotional investment, it stings, doesn't it? But let me tell you something every man needs to hear. Chasing her isn't going to bring her back. In fact, the more you run after her, the faster she'll pull away. The truth is, women are drawn to what they can't easily have. And if you're constantly available, you're not mysterious or desirable. You're predictable. Here's the shocking part. She left because she doesn't feel like she's losing you. Yes, you heard me right. You've made it too easy for her to take you for granted. But this video isn't about blaming you. It's about empowering you. You're going to learn how to flip the script and make her regret ever walking away. I'll teach you how to create a void so powerful, she'll feel it every second you're not around. The kind of void that makes her miss you so badly, she'll question everything about her decision. No games, just psychological truths and practical steps that will put you back in control. Ready to turn the tables? Let's dive in. 1. Stop giving her attention. Silence speaks louder. One of the biggest mistakes men make after a woman pulls away is flooding her with attention. You might think that calling her, texting her, or showering her with compliments will win her back. But here's the harsh truth. Attention feeds her ego, not her desire. When she knows you're always there, she doesn't have to miss you because she never feels like she's lost you. Here's where silence becomes your ultimate weapon. By pulling back your attention, you disrupt her sense of control. Women are hardwired to notice absence. When you stop chasing her, she will begin to wonder why. Did you lose interest? Are you seeing someone else? Suddenly, the dynamic shifts. Now she's the one thinking about you. Silence also communicates strength. It shows her that you're not dependent on her validation to feel good about yourself. Women are naturally drawn to confident, self-sufficient men who can hold their ground emotionally. When you're not always available, you create a sense of value around your presence. Imagine this. Instead of sending her a good morning text every day, you go radio silent for a few days. No messages, no calls, just complete silence. At first she might feel relieved or even smug, but as time passes, the silence starts to bother her. Why hasn't he reached out? What's he doing? Those questions build curiosity and, most importantly, emotional tension. When you eventually re-engage, if you choose to, you'll notice a shift in her behavior. She'll respond faster, ask more questions, and maybe even initiate contact herself. Silence isn't about playing games, it's about creating space for her to miss you. Remember this, what's too easy to access becomes too easy to ignore. Pull back, stay calm, and let silence do the talking. 2. Become unpredictable. The power of mystery. Predictability kills attraction. If she knows what you're going to do, what you're going to say, and how you'll react, then you've already lost the game. Women are naturally drawn to men who keep them on their toes, who maintain a sense of mystery that's both exciting and frustrating. When you're too predictable, you become boring. And let's be honest, no one misses boring. Being unpredictable doesn't mean playing mind games or being manipulative. It means breaking free from routines and behaviors she has grown accustomed to. If she can predict every move you make, there's no excitement, no thrill. But when you switch things up, you force her to think about you in ways she hasn't before. Here's a scenario. Let's say you always reply to her messages within minutes. She texts you and you instantly answer like clockwork. Instead, one day, don't reply for hours, or even a whole day. The silence will catch her off guard. She'll wonder why you're not responding, what you're up to, and why you're suddenly different. That small shift creates tension and curiosity. Another example is changing how you interact with her. If you've been overly available, start saying no to some plans. Or, if you've been distant, surprise her with something thoughtful but unexpected. The key here is balance. Don't go from one extreme to another, but create enough unpredictability to make her question what's going on. Mystery makes her think about you. It keeps her mind occupied because she's trying to figure you out. And the more she thinks about you, the more she misses you. People crave what they don't fully understand. Here's the bottom line. Don't let her figure you out completely. Keep her guessing. Show her that you're not just another predictable guy. Because when she can't predict your next move, you'll become the most intriguing person in her life. And that intrigue is what keeps you on her mind, no matter how much she tries to resist. 3. Level up without her. Self-improvement is irresistible. One of the greatest mistakes a man can make after a breakup or rejection is sitting around and dwelling on what went wrong. While you're stuck replaying the past, she's moving forward and you're stuck in place. The harsh truth? No one misses a man who seems stagnant. If you want to make her miss you, the best thing you can do is shift the focus back to yourself and your growth. Women are naturally drawn to men who are constantly improving. There's something magnetic about a man who is focused, driven, and committed to bettering himself, not for anyone else, but because he knows his worth. When you pour your energy into your own growth, you become harder to forget. Why? Because success, confidence, and self-sufficiency make you stand out from the crowd. Think about it. When was the last time you admired someone who was stuck in the same place, doing the same thing, with no ambition to grow? Probably never. And the same applies here. If she left you because she felt uninspired or unimpressed, leveling up is the ultimate way to flip the script. When she sees you thriving, it shifts the dynamic entirely. Imagine this. You're hitting the gym regularly, getting in shape, dressing better, focusing on your career, or learning new skills. You're not doing it to win her back, you're doing it for you. But here's the catch. She's going to notice. Maybe she sees your progress on social media, hears about it through mutual friends, or even runs into you unexpectedly. Suddenly, she's faced with a version of you that's different from the man she left. And that's powerful. It's not just about physical changes either. Emotional and mental growth play an even bigger role. When you become more confident, more secure in who you are, and less reactive, it creates an aura that's impossible to ignore. Women miss men who exude confidence and independence because it signals strength and stability, traits that are universally attractive. And here's the best part. When you level up without her, you don't just make her miss you, you make yourself proud. The energy you invest in yourself pays off in every area of your life. You attract new opportunities, new people, and a new sense of purpose. Whether she comes back or not becomes irrelevant because you're no longer waiting for her approval. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you create a life so fulfilling that it doesn't matter who notices. But trust me, she will. 4. Let her feel your absence. Detachment wins. Men often underestimate the power of their absence. Many of you are too afraid to step back, worried that if you don't chase, she'll forget about you completely. But let's be real for a second. Why would she miss you if you've never given her the chance to feel your absence? You're so busy being available, bending over backward, and putting her on a pedestal that you're essentially training her to take you for granted. Let's face it, constantly being around, always texting her, or showing up whenever she calls doesn't make her value you more. It does the opposite. Think about this critically. When something is always within reach, you start to overlook it. It's just human nature. And yet, some of you are stuck in this desperate cycle of overavailability, hoping she'll appreciate your efforts. Spoiler alert, she won't. Here's the wake-up call. Step back and let her feel your absence. I'm not talking about ghosting her or playing childish games. I'm talking about detaching yourself emotionally and physically. Focus on your own life. Pull your energy away from constantly proving yourself to her and redirect it toward becoming the kind of man who doesn't need her validation to feel whole. When you detach, you give her something she hasn't had in a long time, space to reflect, space to notice the void you leave behind. Absence creates curiosity, and curiosity leads to longing. Women are naturally drawn to men who have the strength to step back and stand firm in their independence. This isn't just about making her miss you, it's about waking up to your own value. You're not someone's backup plan or safety net. If she's lost interest, Let her sit with that. Let her wonder what she lost. Because when you're always there, she doesn't have to question anything. But when you're absent, she's forced to confront the reality of your worth. The hardest part of detachment is resisting the urge to check in or seek reassurance. But remember this, a man who knows his value doesn't need to chase anyone. By stepping back, you're not only giving her a chance to miss you, you're also reclaiming your self-respect. So, stop suffocating the connection by always being there. Let her feel the emptiness of your absence and discover the weight of your presence. That's how you win, not by chasing, but by walking away and focusing on yourself. It's time to wake up and see that your power lies in detachment, not desperation. 5. Move on, the ultimate power move. Here's the truth that many of you might not want to hear. Sometimes the best way to make her miss you is to completely move on. I get it. This might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. If you're holding on to someone who left you, hoping she'll come running back, you're giving her all the power. You're stuck in a loop of hoping, waiting, and strategizing, while she's living her life without you. That's not the mindset of a man who values himself. Women notice when a man shifts his energy. When you stop waiting around for her, when you start living your life unapologetically, it sends a clear message. You don't need her to be happy. And let me tell you, that independence is irresistible. No one misses someone who's stuck in the past. People miss those who are thriving, confident, and moving forward without them. Moving on doesn't mean cutting her off in a dramatic way or pretending to be over it when you're not. It means genuinely choosing yourself. Focus on your future, your goals, and your happiness. Stop replaying the memories and stop wondering, what if? It's about acknowledging that life doesn't stop because one person walked out. And here's the kicker. When she sees you truly letting go, it will hit her like a ton of bricks. This isn't just about making her miss you. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional chains holding you back. When you let go, you give yourself permission to grow into the best version of yourself. You'll attract new people, new opportunities, and most importantly, a sense of peace. And here's the ironic twist. When she sees that you're no longer waiting for her, that's when she'll start thinking about you. Here's what you need to realize. Moving on is the ultimate act of power. It's not a performance or a tactic, it's a mindset. You're no longer focused on what could have been. You're focused on what's next. And when you embody that level of confidence and self-respect, you become unforgettable. At the end of the day, moving on isn't just for her to miss you. It's for you to reclaim your life. That's the real power move. Here's the cold, hard truth. If you're waiting around for someone to come back to you, you're only holding yourself back from the life you deserve. You've got to realize this. No one is going to respect you if you don't first respect yourself. Chasing someone who's walked away doesn't make you admirable, it makes you desperate. It doesn't make her miss you, it makes you look weak. And that's not the man you want to be. Now, I'm not saying you should never fight for love or relationships, but you have to be willing to walk away when it's no longer healthy or mutually invested. That's the only way to make her miss you the right way. When you stop focusing on her and start focusing on becoming the best version of yourself, you'll see the true power you have over your life and over her. I want to hear from you. Have you ever made these mistakes? Or have you learned to let go and watch her come back? Drop a comment below and let's talk about your experiences. I'll be reaching out to create a real connection because you deserve to be surrounded by people who understand this journey. Let's keep this conversation going and help each other level up.